Okay, we'll call a meeting to order. In accordance with State Statute Section 84-1412, the Open Meetings Act is posted on the north wall in the council chambers for public information. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Debbie, would you do roll call, please?
Stokely.
Here.
Penrose.
Here.
Swenson.
Here.
Boozy.
Here.
Hugo.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Okay, item B. Item B, review proposed redevelopment contract amendment, correcting legal description of redevelopment site ASC Lockers redevelopment project.
Yeah, this was previously approved by the CDA and the City Council. There was just a legal description error, so we're cleaning that up and asking you to reconsider it and approve it again.
Anybody have any questions on this?
No.
Item C, consideration of a motion to approve redevelopment contract amending correcting illegal description of redevelopment site and authorizing the chairs of the CDA to sign redevelopment contract amendment. Need a motion to approve this amendment? Motion made by Rusty. Seconded by Mark. Is there any further discussion? Cast your votes, please. Okay. We're good. Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron. You make it simple for you.
No.
Thanks, everybody.
Now I just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Shay. Seconded by Rusty. Cast your votes, please. Okay.
Quick meeting.
Yeah. Okay, now we will convene for our regular council meeting. Call the meeting to order. In accordance with State Statute Section 84-1412, the Open Meetings Act is posted on the north wall in the council chambers for public information. We'll do roll call, please.
Stokely.
Here.
Penrose.
Here.
Swenson.
Here.
Boozy.
Here.
Hugo.
Here.
Smith.
Still here.
Okay, the consent agenda. 1, city appointed boards and commissions, zoning and subdivision board of adjustment, reappointment of Jim Perry, Jackie Blocker, and Roger Piles, alternate, 3-year terms. Fire and rescue departments, West Point Rescue, accept the resignation of Austin Streeter, effective April 30th, 2025. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, treasurer's report. Everything's good there. Claims, did everybody get a chance to look at the claims? Okay, I just need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by Tom.
Second.
Seconded by Shay. Cast your votes, please. Okay. Public hearings, we have none. Bids. We have catered meals at the senior center. Tom will go over the bid.
Yeah, the only bid we received was from St. Joe's Elder Services in the amount of $9, up 25 cents from where it was last year. Basically, there are dietary requirements to comply with that, and they have the ability to do that, and they have a registered dietitian on staff to help with that. So the recommendation is to move ahead with St. Joe's Elder Services.
Do you have anybody have any questions? Okay, then I have resolution number 2025-10, accepting the bid to provide catered meals for the Senior Citizens Center for the period from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Make the motion.
Motion made by Mark, seconded by Shay. Cast your votes, please. Okay. Current business. Annual report from the West Point Volunteer Fire Department. Tom?
The annual report, West Point Fire Department. From May to May, we only had 94 calls. But at year end, we had 120. So the first part of this year has been extraordinarily slow compared to the last 4 or 5 years. So who knows? It's called luck. We're at 40 members. got some false alarms. 9 structure fires, 15 grass fires. Hazardous calls, ammonia. 7 car fires. Went through our power lines down here a couple of weeks ago. Went to an elevator steam over in Dodge. Not last year at this time. That's about it. You wanna know anything else?
What do you got?
All my paper says. This round.
You're good?
I'm up for a second round in a little while.
I'd like to say thanks from everyone here for everything you guys
Yeah,
do.
all those guys, you know, we got a very good crew. We always had a really good bunch of guys. We'll go anywhere, do anything, at any time. So, awful lucky compared to other communities we hear around. So, yeah, we even went out looking for a UFO one night. Maybe it was called in by a UFO. So, now it's 10 o'clock at night. But, yeah, so, pretty lucky.
Is that one of your helicopters?
It was, I think it was flying a little higher than a helicopter.
And we don't even know, it was called in by a helicopter, it was called in by an airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At 10 o'clock at night.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, alright.
A wildfire. In this part of Nebraska. I don't think so. But
Okay.
dispatch gotta do what they do, and they did, and we did what we do. Drive around aimlessly out in the country. And well, I can see Bancroft from here, I can see West Point from here, and 10 miles out, so. It is what it is.
Thanks
Dispatch
again.
does a very good job too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item 2, request from Road Gems Car Club for use of the Nielsen Center and surrounding streets and parking lots for the car show on September 21st.
I'm here to represent Road Gems.
And your name is?
Thanks. Jay Holta. But, want to make sure it's all right to shut the streets down. and direct
Same
traffic
thing
on
as
Main Street.
past years.
Hopefully ask for some funding again, ask some funding for pies, and invite thousands of people to see our beautiful town. So, hopefully, it's our go again. Just want to make sure we're all good. Be September 21st this year.
Yep.
I'm not as active, but they're short of people too.
Yeah, everybody is.
Yeah.
Do you, how do we make this motion then? I know.
Just make a motion to approve
The request.
the car show and the request.
I mean, he said that when do we do that for the porta pots then? When do we-
Well,
should we do it later?
we do, it's all on the request
Oh,
for
okay.
the funding. We did up to $1,000 on the porta
Porta
pots
pots,
last year. And then we did $2,500 donation or contribution for the show for financial assistance. So that's what you'd be approving tonight based on that request.
Anybody have any questions, or I'll just have a motion to approve this request? Motion made by Rusty, seconded by Tom. Cast your votes, please. Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah.
Item 3, Chamber of Commerce request for financial assistance from the city for the annual 4th of July fireworks.
Good evening, council. You have the request before you. I'm coming before you again this evening and this year to request $5,000. As you know, costs for putting on the show continue to rise, but I continue to ask for just the same amount because I think that the volunteer committee that puts this on has found creative ways to make sure we still have an excellent show with the same contribution from the city. It's the 4th of July is one of those things. There's lots of controversial things in the world these days, but the 4th of July is not. I think we all enjoy celebrating our freedoms, and I hope you support that with contributing towards that. And then also, I know in the past you guys have donated the use of the 330 Center building down there for the Knights of Columbus to have a food stand. We're planning the same things, the bounce houses, lots of food vendors, and then obviously the fireworks display and anything beyond that is bonus. Sometimes we're able to get a volleyball tournament in there or horseshoes and things like that. It kind of depends on who's available and interested, whether we have bingo and things like that. So, any questions or suggestions for the celebration? It seems to be evolving and still draws a lot of people down to Neely Park. Okay, well, thank you for your consideration and previous support and hopefully continued support.
Anybody have any discussion on this? Okay, just need a motion to approve the amount of $5,000 for the fireworks display.
No move.
Second.
Motion made by Tom, seconded by Ryan. Cast your votes, please. Okay. Item 4, consider a request from Franciscan Healthcare to use the city streets for the fun run July 4th.
This is the same as it's been in past years. You've got the layout in your packet. It's a 1.5 mile walk, 1.5 mile run, and 3 mile run. Registration starts at 7, race begins at 7:30 on July 4th.
Did they have it last year, or did?
They did not because there's questionable weather, so
Yeah.
this is going to be their color run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be
Yeah.
really cool.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, yep.
Then it ended up being nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Not nice. but-
That, I know Delana was very concerned,
Yeah.
so I was like, it's fine.
Do we have any discussion on this? Okay, just need a motion to approve this request.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Rusty,
Second.
seconded by Shay. Cast your votes, please. Item 5, approve health insurance renewal in the League Insurance Government Health Team. Tom?
Yeah, we're looking at another 18% increase on health insurance this year. Really, you know, we're still saving money by going through a life point program. I don't know if Drew or Rick or if you guys want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I think we looked last year, it was 25-30% less, so.
Yeah.
So if it's 18% there and everything else was 10%, you're still.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's still a good policy for us. It's just gonna be a lateral move. We're not changing anything. We're still making the same offerings.
Everything's going up.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, I just need a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Motion made by Ryan, seconded by Shay. Cast your votes. Okay. Item 6, approve special designated liquor licenses. Guardian Angels Central Catholic for the J-Fest Alumni Fundraiser Banquet on May 30th and 31st, 2025 at the Nielsen Center. Cumming County Ag Society for August 7th to the 10th, 2025, Cumming County Fair, Neely Park and Fairgrounds. Cumming County Ag Society for August 9th, 2025, fair events to be held on at Anderson Ball Field. Cumming County Ag Society for August 10th, 2025, fair event to be held at the Nielsen Community Center. Need a motion to approve these?
We'll move.
Motion made by Tom, seconded by Rusty. Cast your votes, please. Item 7, approval of the council affiliated claim of Hugo Plumbing and Heating for services and supplies.
So,
Motion made by Shay, seconded by Mark. Cast your votes. Item 8, approval of council affiliated claim of Tom Swenson Advertising for city caps.
make a motion.
Rusty made motion. Seconded by Mark. Cast your votes. Item 9, discuss fire and rescue renderings.
I put a rendering in your packet that has since changed a little bit of alteration, moved to the north a little bit more. You've got a new rendering in front of you for discussion purposes to take a look at. Fire and rescue are represented here. If you have any questions, basically what they're looking at are 4 14-foot doors. roughly 7 foot between the doors. There's a 3-foot walk-in door on the far east side. Kind of evened it up with the back of the existing fire rescue city hall offices and that. Again, that can go further north depending on how the design comes together. And, we're looking at basically a $2 million cap. Is kind of what we're working around on that building itself. You guys wanna?
So the drive-through bay wouldn't be the west one now, with the alley be the east one on this?
Well, that's what they're showing,
Yeah.
I think that's still up for
Yeah.
discussion purposes. I don't think that's gonna work, having that drive-through bay on the east. But, because it's gonna depend on how far back it goes and how much room they've got to turn in from the alley into there. So I look for probably that drive-through bay to go to the west end.
I just want to note, as drawn, it says 84 feet, and that's about 6 or 7 alleyway between there, so that's gonna be a problem.
The what, alleyway?
That alley, yeah, between Eagles, it'll be 6 to 7 feet.
It needs to be about 10 to 12, isn't it?
For what?
Well, that's what they were requesting.
So they could-
Secondhand, that was after the original, option was given to them. And then they started going backwards for 3 years. And then when they went back to, going to, where we're at now, Tom told them was gonna go back to the original plot of land up front.
The survey, we gave them the survey, we gave Good Life Architecture the survey of the property and told them to fit it within those confines of that piece of property.
The Eagles know this is gonna happen.
So you've got 84 feet basically across the front of that building as it's being shown right now. I think it's 7 foot between the doors.
So this design right now will fit in the $2 million cap?
Based on the architect's estimate, he's thinking, yeah, he thinks it will.
Is it gonna match the facade that we already have?
The intent is to brick the facade to match what's there. Now, the east side, the rear of the building probably won't be.
Okay. Does that include any of the interior, or is this just the building itself?
Right now, this is just
Just
the
the
building
building.
itself, just basically a shell. Because we're gonna maximize the square footage and then come back and build it out later if you guys, future funds come up or you wanna do something different internally, but you do have that opportunity based on the square footage footprint.
What do we have in between the doors right now?
Like, between the doors,
Yeah.
18 inches,
Yeah,
and between the trucks, the mirrors, 30 inches.
great, yeah.
I mean, you can't, you can't walk 2 guys side by side.
No, I
Between the
just-
trucks.
Well, you gotta be careful when you open 2 doors, you'll hit.
Now,
Yeah, now.
I mean, 14 foot, if you look at go less than 14 foot, that's,
No, I was talking about the footage in between the doors, that's all.
yeah. I mean, that's just a preliminary drawing. We can like do so much until we get the property bought, then we can
Sure.
go from there on.
Sure.
We could put more, I mean, rescue don't have any room for lockers at all.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think it's wasting any room at
Yeah.
all. Just because we're so used to being confined the way it is now.
Great. No, the reason I was bringing that up, when they were talking about the alleyway, just if it was 6 foot in between doors, and that also that could give them an extra 3 feet or whatever, that's all I was saying, is that.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if it gets down to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, if you look at the depth of that, I think if I measured it, it's right around that 70 to 80 foot deep.
So basically, we're being asked to do what?
What do you want to do next?
Yeah.
Do we want to eminent domain the Eagles property next, is that what you're saying, or what?
Sooner or later, you're gonna have to decide
Yeah.
what the
Right.
footprint of it is gonna be.
Right.
You know, everybody kept falling back on, we need a drawing, so that's
Sure.
where we
No,
are.
I like this general footprint. I mean, I do also lean toward the fact that, I mean, I think it would be at least nice to give a usable alleyway between the two buildings, in my opinion.
Shay, that's being really nice and stuff, but they've been the bad guys.
Yeah.
We've been working with them for a long time.
4 years, we're coming.
Well,
up
at
on
this
4
point,
years.
we're not working with them. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying, yes.
You're
I
going
agree.
backwards again from where we started in the first place.
I'm not going backwards on anything. I'm just saying that,
Well, we could ask the same question back to them, what do they need the extra space for?
it's not about their space, it's about, just as simple of, if you're trying to move a vehicle, in between the buildings, then.
Go around.
I don't think that, I mean,
Even
they're
though-
not moving a vehicle through the alley right now.
It was just,
We can't either. Fire department can't either, so.
You can drive a vehicle through there.
There's two things sitting here in front of you right now. One is the acquisition of the property.
Right.
That's the first and foremost. Forget about the design for a minute, all right? And the second thing is you're gonna come back and you're gonna sign an agreement with this architect for $146,000 to design this building. When you get that architect sitting in front of you and you wanna actually sit down and design this building, that's where I think you have that discussion and see what fits. My recommendation is to acquire the property,
right,
don't make any promises, and
right.
see what's gonna fit the long-term needs of fire and rescue. You've got, this facility has served fire and rescue for over 40 years. I firmly believe this expansion here is gonna serve them for at least another 40,
Yeah,
right? So, I mean,
I agree.
that's my perspective on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm all about getting the property, so yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. I'll get into Eagles property, yeah.
How do we go about doing that?
Well, we have to have something in front of us then.
Vote.
No, but are we,
Well,
make an offer,
if
or what are we doing?
If you're telling me,
I mean,
if we're going down that road, next month, what I'll put in front of you is the eminent domain scenario again,
yeah,
along with the original legal description that we had surveyed off, with that additional footage in the back.
But we're not going all the way back to the back parking lot.
No,
Okay,
unless you want to,
not gonna say no.
that's still an option,
I'm sure it is. Anything's an option.
so.
That's an additional lot.
Right,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, it's my belief, if we go back to them again and throw an offer, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down the same stalemate that we've
Yeah,
seen.
That ship sailed.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I agree, I mean, present the eminent domain proceedings,
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's been long enough.
Because we've been going on this for 4 years, so what if we did the same thing 4 years ago? What, $500,000 cheaper?
Well, at this point, it doesn't matter.
Well, I know that, but.
If they want to go to eminent domain, and they want to spend
Yeah,
money to
but-
fight it, and they think they're gonna win, that's their prerogative.
Right.
I don't know what else we can do.
So what I'll do then for the June meeting is I'll have Damien here, and we'll go through the eminent domain proceedings to acquire that piece of property that's legally described.
Yeah.
And surveyed.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yep.
That's all I need, that direction. No,
Okay.
so,
Anybody got any more discussion on that?
it's on the minutes.
Okay, item 10, discuss changing the date of the June 3rd, 2025 council meeting.
What's the discussion?
I have a plan vacation.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, let's
Yeah.
move it. Thank you, Ryan.
Especially with the impending discussion with the Eagles, that we should have as many people there as possible.
You having your firstborn son on June 3rd?
First family vacation.
Oh.
How about those?
I know, just joking. I'm for you, Ryan.
Thank you. Shit.
So move. What do we want to do? What date? Monday?
Changing it to, well, I don't know, he didn't say.
Yeah, what's the date, Ryan?
What did I say?
You want to move it to Monday the 2nd?
Yeah, Monday the 2nd.
Does that work for you guys? Okay, we just need a motion for that, Monday the 2nd.
So move.
Motion made by
Sorry,
Rusty,
Second.
second by Ryan. Okay, cast your votes. Aye. Okay, I got another resolution. Resolution to approve the application payment number 4 in the amount of $300,144.61 to JEO Consulting Group, A&R Construction for the West Point levee improvements. Resolution 2025-11. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
Make the motion.
Mark made the motion and Rusty seconded. Cast your votes. Reports. Talked to Dale Schmader today. He's the one I've been going through. We want to put the sign out there north, and that's in CPR acres. You had to go out and talk to them, and it's only 0.1 acre. If we get it taken out if he takes it out before September 26th, it'll cost him $650. I said, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. Well, how long will your permitting process be? I said, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and we want to get started on it now. So I told him, and I told Tom that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got everything surveyed,
Yeah.
it's ready to go, it's just a matter of them agreeing to let go of the property.
Got all the graphics on it and that, and then the sign the Dairy Queen sign that's out there, he gets rent for that. I said, we'll figure out what you need for rent, and we'll do the same or whatever. The rent on the south one, where Klitz, we just have to mow it, make sure it's all mowed all the time. He's fine with that. That's what's written up.
Yeah, actually, it's going on in the existing easement we already have
Have
there, so.
there,
that's
so.
Made it nice and clean.
So we're trying to get closer, but it's
Slow.
yeah. Harold was gone the last few months, but now he's back, and he's going to be 94. He keeps reminding me that. So that's where we're at on that.
$650 for the CRP, and then whatever Ryan was getting from the Dairy Queen sign. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're gonna put together a lease.
Yeah, we'll put it together at least, but yeah.
Part of the stipulations when you do a sign like this is you have to provide the survey and the lease agreement to the Department of Roads before they'll issue the permit.
Sure.
So,
And ACE says those permits could take, like I said, 3 to 6 months.
So if you just, like, what we're gonna do, is it like a 50-year lease or something, or a 100-year lease?
I don't know how they do that, Shay.
I was just curious, I mean, like, what, you do it, your lease and Dale's Schmader.
How long was that lease for the
Never
timber
mind.
signs that time, Jim?
Will we rip out the sign or what?
Well, that was like a 20 or 25-year thing, wasn't it?
Pretty long.
It was, I don't know that there was like an end date on it, and so we just would pay the fee each year and be like, yep,
And
there's
you're
still a
right.
current lease.
There might not have been an end date on it, so.
Yeah.
I mean, at one time Dale told me that it doesn't, like, right now, the Dairy Queen's just paying a monthly deal. It's he doesn't want to use the word lease. It's just a monthly income. And I said, well, do whatever you want to do. You write it up. So.
The agreement to have it there, the
Yeah.
Department of Transportation just wants to know that you have the right to
Right
have it
to
there.
have it there.
That there's an agreement between the property owner and.
In the city.
I was more seeing it from their perspective, Dale's perspective, like, when they just like, never mind, I don't wanna lease that ground anymore.
The only time it gets tricky is when the land changes owners, so if he's
That's what I'm saying,
94, you need to,
Well,
yeah,
I'm expecting it'll.
yeah. Well, like ours was, I think there was an Elmer Paulson that
Oh,
owned
yeah.
the property
Yep.
back in the day, and so when that switched hands, like, we didn't even know, and then like another owner later, then they came
Yeah.
at us for
They
it.
lived in that yellow house.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got.
Just got a couple things, Elkhorn Paving is moving in this week, they're gonna start on on that intersection, your intersection at the end, on Ely and Colfax. There's gonna be limited access in and out of there, they're gonna notify everybody up in that area that they're gonna be working there. So that's where they're gonna start, then they're gonna move from there. Once they get a good handle in moving things, they're gonna move on to Colfax Street in front of the old elementary school between Park and Bridge. Complete that, and then they're gonna move up on Sherman. So I think they're talking about being up on Sherman sometime right at the first part of June. So they're gonna move pretty quick. They're a good paving company, they'll be in and out fairly quickly. I think everybody's seen the dirt flying, Rusty, right?
Yep.
For the levee. They're taking care of the fairgrounds right now. They wanna get in and out of there before fair time. So we've encouraged that. I think they're pulling, they said at one point they're gonna bring in 10 trucks. So there's quite a bit of dirt moving through right now. They're really cruising along on that.
I see they are targeting the loads going through town, we don't dirt flow now.
Really? It's all coming from the dirt roads they're driving on, so.
Well, no, yeah, the dirt's coming up there.
Yeah, I mean, they put a pretty good dent in that hill out there.
Yeah.
So. Other than that, that's all I can think of right now.
Mark, you got anything?
Pennsylvania and Colfax.
Waterloo?
No, there's a pothole in the intersection that I about bit my steering wheel. And I've had somebody else tell me about that too.
It's from that water leak, Tom.
I was gonna say, is it from the water leak?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah, right in the middle of the intersection.
yeah, but
South
I mean,
side.
it's like, it'll swallow your tire.
Okay.
And I don't know if we can, Bill and Tim both talked to me about that entrance right by Dollar General going to the pit. Those, when they come out going east, the way the highway curves to the northwest, in front of those houses, there's some blue spruce.
Yeah, they want that blue spruce gone if we can move it.
And they absolutely, the trucks can absolutely see traffic going south.
Yeah, I talked to Bill about that about a week ago. And then also they were talking about widening that intersection there coming onto the highway.
Yeah, they said they're moving stuff to the south so they can make a wider turn to head north.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, that line of sight and them trees are blocking
I was
traffic.
gonna talk to Dave Warner about moving that blue spruce to see what our options are with that.
I think there may be a couple of them, like clear to the, I looked coming out of there, the one clear to the north and maybe
Okay.
might be more than one there that would be nice if we moved. That's it.
Find out.
Gary?
Should have planned them there.
I was gonna say,
Did you want those?
yeah.
You want them back?
I'd like to.
He wants some over water main.
No, over the sewer line. They drove better over the sewer line.
Anything, Jerry? Nope. Rusty?
Well, if anybody wants to know about that water line, I'm done spending time on it, I think. She wants a bid from me, why should I give her a bid when insurance company will pay for $6,600? She got a bid for about $8,800 to put a new water service in through a licensed plumber. That's what they require, a licensed plumber. I'm not in a good mood over the conversation with that gal. I know what licensing means, it won't mean shit. So, I like working for that gal, and she's gonna be an asset to our theater when she moves back. That insurance, you better know what you're buying on that utility insurance. I mean, jumped on it when she first called me, I was there within an hour, she had it flagged out. So I've done my part on that, I don't know if that's gonna leak too long, but I'm always concerned about the money. So.
Yeah, basically what they had there is they had that serve line insurance. And serve line is only working through limited contractors. So she contacted the contractor that they recommended out of Norfolk. And like Jerry said, that Norfolk contractor doesn't wanna come on and do it. And they threw out an outrageous dollar amount that you have to pay the difference on.
Is that through Black Hills then?
Yep, yeah, I believe so.
I asked her if it's through Black Hills, and she said, no.
I think that's who serve line is, through is Black Hills.
Too much. But,
Yeah, cause Tom, you said you called them like Thursday of last week, correct?
Yeah, I talked to him. Yeah, I talked to the contractor Thursday. He assured me that he would have something from the insurance company by the end of that week.
Yeah, and you said it was
It's
in the week
already
tomorrow.
Thursday?
Yeah.
but whoever comes there, I'm gonna watch the compaction of city right away. Now, the
But
city.
you're gonna do it now, right?
Huh?
You're doing it now at this point, aren't you?
Well, I have to give her advice.
Oh, okay.
And I told her my range, and, well, I'll give her a price. Yeah, I'll work with her.
I thought you said you weren't gonna give her a price.
But,
Pardon me?
I think you said you weren't gonna give her a price.
well, no, I wasn't going to. Because, well, it's.
That's fine.
I spent 3 hours on it today.
Yeah, no, you're good.
And you know what they charge her to come and do locates? $440.
Yeah, charge you for locate.
To do locates. Wow. Don't.
That's what I said.
I just.
Who charges you that for the locator?
This contractor.
Yeah, I mean, locates are
I
free.
mean, yeah, really,
Yeah.
locates are free.
Yeah.
They charge, she got a bill for $440.
That's ridiculous.
And they said they like to do their own locates and not go by the figures out like.
Well, they can't.
I know
Right.
they can't.
Legally, they can't. The
So I
state
don't
of
know what
Nebraska
kind of
legally
license
can't
they're
do that.
carrying.
There's ripping people off.
Yeah, it's just a scam. Huh.
But if is the city liable for right away and driveway?
What do you mean by liable?
For if it sinks down?
Typically, no.
You're saying it's poor compaction by the.
Well, yeah, most of the time, the problem is poor compaction, or a leaky joint on a storm sewer, you know, poor workmanship, or, you know, but that's beside the point.
Okay, Tom?
So I was working on it, so.
Ryan?
I was gonna bring up that leak too, but it sounds like we've got it covered.
You sure?
Yeah,
Fredro?
yeah, and then, I was curious, I was hoping Ron was gonna be here, but, we had that power outage last week at all the schools. I heard about that. I wanted to know what was
Oh,
going on
it
there.
was, they were working on that line on the corner of, Bridge and Mill. So they were gonna isolate it, but they
Okay.
didn't. They hit the wrong switch, basically what they did.
It was on and off quickly.
Cause yeah, it came right back on. I don't think it was
Yeah.
off for much more than 2
Yeah,
minutes.
my wife bothered me about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got home and all the clocks were flashing from work.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was-
Yeah.
Did it affect Main Street?
Pardon?
Did it affect Main Street?
No.
I don't think so.
It happens.
Yeah,
It did. It did happen.
it did happen. Yeah.
Flip the wrong switch many times.
That's it. And yeah, they have started work on Neely.
Pardon me?
They have started.
Are they up there now?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff there.
It's a whole street blocked off, which is
Yeah.
fine. They got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
You lucky you got a helicopter.
Can't land there.
Shay?
Couple things. One is, so we have sod ready to go onto the
I
pool
talked to
line?
him today, he's just waiting until when he's available, he's already laying, so
Oh, nice. Perfect. Sounds good. And then, down there with, River Street, or not River, Water Street, whatever street. What street do you live on? Water, there you go. that, where they're driving all those side dumps,
Mhm.
down there. Apparently that,
We already talked about it before.
was that in a meeting? I didn't remember.
No.
Was I in that?
No. Sorry,
Okay.
I should have told you that.
I just didn't realize if you said it in this meeting
No.
when I was talking about it, or if you said it differently. Okay, so, I just didn't know, just had a couple calls about it, if we were going to.
About the dust?
Yeah, dust, and then slash me, the road's getting beat up, and the coating that they put on it maybe is coming up, so.
Should just take the tanker down there and drive across.
Exactly.
You know, I came in as a citizen beforehand and actually talked about that, and he called the guy to make sure they're gonna water it.
Yeah, we just talked about it just before the meeting.
Sounds good,
So.
yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to know that, I guess, you know, I wasn't in that meeting.
Yeah, no.
So I apologize.
I'm one of the complaints.
Yeah. So, well, actually, I didn't hear it from Russ, I heard it from a couple other people, so.
He came in early just to complain. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's usually.
I came in as a citizen.
Yeah, there you go, there you go, so, that's all I got. Huh?
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think baby, but yeah, new baby boy.
Congratulations.
need a meeting or motion to adjourn?
So move.
Seconded by, motion made by Tom, seconded by Rusty. Cast your votes.